Netflix has been producing romantic filler for a decade, creating an assembly line of algorithm-driven material designed to play in the background while you fold laundry. They called it content, but it acted more like a tax on your attention span. Right now in 2026, there's a glitch in their system because 10 movies slipped through the cracks. These 10 films bypass the corporate focus groups and manage to deliver genuine emotional impact. These are not just good movies, as they are the only romances on the platform that feel entirely authentic. This is the definitive list. Coming in at number 10 is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. They sold this as another disposable teen comedy, but it served as a complete rewiring of the modern romance formula. Released in 2018, the streaming numbers are still beating their newer premium releases. Lana Condor plays Lara Jean, a quiet teenager who hoards unsent love letters to her crushes in a hidden box to maintain the illusion of safety. When her little sister mails every single letter to her crushes, the resulting psychological warfare is highly entertaining. To survive the fallout, she fakes a relationship with a popular kid played by Noah Centineo. The fake dating trope is usually lazy writing, but here it serves as a masterclass in chemistry that makes you forget you are watching a cliché. Lana Condor carries the franchise with a warmth you simply cannot manufacture in a boardroom, making this entry impossible to ignore. If you love romance movies, consider subscribing to the channel. Every week we cover the films worth your time so you never waste an evening on something that disappoints. Number 9 is Set It Up, released in 2018. The story follows two overworked office assistants running on zero sleep and suffering under a daily avalanche of corporate abuse. Zoe Deutsch and Glenn Powell play two deeply exhausted humans who decide to ruin their horrible bosses' lives by forcing their sociopathic managers to fall in love. The goal is to distract the tyrants and reclaim their weekends. While you watch them execute this intricate manipulation tactic, you realize the architects of this chaos are the ones actually falling for each other. Glenn Powell deploys an effortless charm, and Zoe Deutsch matches his chaotic energy beat for beat. They built a story about two exploited workers surviving corporate culture who just keep showing up for each other in the trenches, making it a highly effective film. Number 8 is the 2019 film Always Be My Maybe. This movie operates as an emotional story wrapped in jokes, featuring Ali Wong as Sasha, a celebrity chef living a glamorous life. Randall Park plays Marcus, a musician still living in his childhood home and stuck in the same routines. They were inseparable as kids until life happened and brought 15 years of silence. When they reconnect, the gap between their worlds is obvious, and the movie does not pretend otherwise, allowing that tension to drive the real story. Ali Wong is highly amusing, and Randall Park brings a vulnerability that makes you root for him, even when he is being stubborn. There is also a bizarre and perfectly timed celebrity cameo that became genuinely famous. Always Be My Maybe understands that sometimes the people meant for you are the ones you already walked away from. Number 7 is Champagne Problems, slated for 2025. The film showcases Paris in winter, capturing that specific golden light that only December in France seems to generate. They pitched an escapist fantasy, but it resulted in an atmospheric piece that evokes a strong emotional response. Minka Kelly leads a story built on the kind of quiet longing that feels earned rather than just slapped onto the script to hit a demographic quota. The setting does heavy lifting here, shaping every cold street and warmly lit window into a tool designed to make you nostalgic for a life you never lived. Champagne Problems hits its targets with unapologetic precision, because sometimes a beautifully shot 90-minute escape from your grueling work week is exactly the life raft you need to survive until Monday, offering pure comfort and zero pretense. Number 6 is the 2025 film My Secret Santa. A single mother desperately needs a job, and the only opening available is playing Santa Claus at a luxury ski resort. The catch is, they want a man for the role, so she puts on the suit, deepens her voice, and commits to the disguise completely. Alexandra Breckenridge brings so much life to this performance that you feel every anxious moment. Ryan Eggold plays the hotel manager who cannot know the truth, which means every interaction becomes a delicate balancing act. The comedy in this film comes from watching someone maintain an impossible lie while simultaneously falling for the person they are lying to. The movie handles this premise with confidence, and the ski resort setting gives every scene a glossy look that makes the whole thing feel like a snow globe. If this list is helping you find your next movie night pick, dropping a like pushes this video to more people who need a good recommendation. Number 5 is the 2025 release Ruth and Boaz. Soraya plays a rising hip-hop star at the peak of her career in Atlanta, with music deals entirely within reach. She walks away not because she fails, but because her adopted mother needs her, and that matters more. She moves to rural Tennessee, a world away from everything she built, and meets a man she never expected to find. Tyler Lepley brings quiet strength to a character that stands as the opposite of everything her old life offered. This film is a modern retelling of a famous biblical story, and it handles that source material with care. The contrast between the glamorous world Soraya leaves behind and the simple life she discovers gives the romance actual weight. Love stories hit harder when the characters have genuinely given something up to be there, making this an underrated film on the platform. Number 4 is Ten Dance, a 2025 film about two elite competitors at the peak of their physical prime. One dictates the entire Latin dance world, while the other holds a suffocating monopoly on ballroom, both possessing large egos and unchecked arrogance. When forced into the same studio to teach each other, the result is pure tension. Ryoma Takeuchi and Keita Machida turn every single rehearsal sequence into a battlefield where the underlying competition constantly threatens to tear the collaboration apart. Based on a Japanese manga, this film translates a complicated power dynamic into an explosion of kinetic energy. While it uses the rivals to lovers trope, it executes the concept with rare intensity. Two bodies are forced to map out each other's physical rhythms until their hearts are dragged into the equation, and it works perfectly. Number 3 is the 2025 film My Oxford Year. An American woman fights her entire life to study at Oxford University, and once she arrives to live her dream, she meets someone who changes everything. Sophia Carson plays a character so driven that watching her fall in love feels like watching someone who forgot falling was possible. Corey Milcreast is a strong screen presence that makes every conversation feel charged, but his character is hiding something. When that secret surfaces, the film shifts, and what starts as a sunlit English love story becomes something harder and more honest. Sophia Carson handles that shift with precision, allowing the pain to land because the joy came first. My Oxford Year does not soften what it is dealing with, meaning you walk in expecting a standard romance and come out carrying something heavier. Number 2 is the 2025 film The Wrong Paris. Miranda Cosgrove joins a reality dating show thinking she is flying to Paris, France, expecting the City of Lights and the Eiffel Tower. Instead, she lands in Paris, Texas, surrounded by dust, cowboy boots, and a population under 25,000. The look on her face when she realizes the truth is one of the funniest moments in any movie this year, and then it gets even better. She decides the only move is to get herself eliminated as fast as possible by being the worst possible contestant. The cowboy she meets makes that plan very difficult as Pearson Fode plays a man with enough warmth that her escape plan starts to feel like the wrong choice. The Wrong Paris is sharp and self-aware in exactly the right way, knowing its premise is ridiculous so that every romantic beat earns your belief. Number 1 is People We Meet on Vacation from 2026. Modern romance movies often fail because they avoid messy human situations, giving you a sanitized conflict that gets solved in 3 minutes with an apology. Based on Emily Henry's novel, Emily Bader and Tom Blythe present a relationship that actually matters. Poppy and Alex are best friends who silently anchor each other's existence, terrified to acknowledge the truth because it might ruin the one good thing they have left. After 2 years of silence, they take a desperate wedding trip to Barcelona. Emily Bader vibrates with a frantic energy, while Tom Blythe answers it with a quiet intensity that heavily impacts the viewer. They simply exposed how lazy the romance genre has been lately. The best love stories are the ones where the truth was obvious the entire time, but the characters were too afraid to say it out loud. These 10 movies are every single one worth your evening. From Lara Jean's accidental love letters, all the way to Poppy and Alex finally figuring it out in Barcelona, Netflix has built a romance lineup in 2026 that actually delivers. Pick one tonight, and if you want more lists like this one, consider subscribing. New recommendations drop regularly, as there is always another film out there worth finding.